Hi, I'm going to try today to show you how to do the Excel Project 1. I do have a cold while I'm doing the videos today, so I apologize for that, but I'll do the best I can. Okay, regretfully, I brought this up earlier and I had problems, so I'd done two things first that evidently I didn't get. Well, let's go over here. Get corrected. I guess I can't correct that. So this will not show time card on yours. This should show sheet 1. You right click on it and then you need to rename it, and when you rename it you need to type in time card. So when you rename it you would just go back here and type in time card. Then when you're done with that, you hit enter, you right click it again, and you change the tab color to any of the blue colors here. That will then look like this, blue with time card on it. That's instruction number 1. Instruction number 2, go here to A1 and type in work study time card. Now, if you notice this is going over into cell B, it does show up. That's because there is nothing in cell B. We hit enter, and then what it asks you to do is highlight cell A1, B, C, and D1, and then what you can do is right click on that, and we want to merge the cells. So merging the cells is on Format Cells, and that's alignment, merge cells, and it also wants you to center it. So it's the vertical center. If you feel like doing the horizontal center too, you may do that. And then what we want to do is one more thing there. We want to change the font size to 18. Now if I just go up here and change it to 18, it works here because I had everything highlighted. Okay, now in cell B2 they want you to type in hours. In C2, gross pay. In D2, net pay. And if I misspell these, I'm not going to worry about it. And then center these. So you highlight them again, right click, and go to Format Cells, and again vertical center. Okay. I'm sorry. Right click, Format Cells, horizontal center. Okay. Okay, so we've got number 2 done. In cell B2, we did that one. Now we're on A3. In A3, we start typing in Joe, cool, and then we go down and we type in Mary Contrary, and then we type in Tom Thumb, and then Peter Piper, and then the last one and the most important one is type in your name. Okay, now we've completed that. So that's now completed number 4. Number 5 in cell B3. So here, type in 25, and then in B4, 24. And notice when we do that, it truncated Mary Kant from Mary Contrary. That's because there is now something in that cell. And we put in 16, 18, and 22. Okay, now in A10, we put in pay rate. and then in B10 we type $8.50, 8.50. Now this shows the dollar sign there. So in order to do that, we need to right click and we need to go to Format Cells again, and the number needs to be currency. So now it will show up as the $8.50. Okay, you cannot type in the dollar sign. That would make it text. Now it says adjust all columns. So if I click here in the left corner, all of the columns are selected, and if I go in between either of these, I get the double arrow. It doesn't matter which one, it can be any of them here. And it shows that this is 8.11 or 80 pixels. We want to make them all 145. So I move over here till I get 145, and now it's spaced out. Okay, now in cell C3, type a formula with an absolute cell reference that multiplies the hour by the rate. So in C3, we'll hit the equal sign so we get a formula. Over here's the hours. We want that to be relative so we can do copying down. Then we hit the multiply, the asterisk. Then we hit the pay rate, B10, and then we hit F4 to put a dollar sign in front of the B and the 10, and I hit enter. Excuse me. Now I click on this cell and I pull it down by getting in the lower right corner and getting this plus sign. That now automatically calculates all of the pay for everybody, all of their gross pay. Now we decided to make the net pay a little different in that we're only using a 10% deduction. So now, how would we get the net pay? Well, again, we have to say equals, and it equals the 212 minus, and now we've got to get 10% of that. So we would put in parentheses, so we make sure we do this first. 0.10 is 10% times the 212. Never ever type in the 212. Never ever type in the 850 a second time. You always use a cell reference. That is because if you make a change to anything, and let me show you that in a minute, so then we copy it down. If I change my hours here to 11 and hit enter, it automatically recalculated it. If you had typed in anything absolute, it would not recalculate. If I decided to give everybody a pay raise and make everybody make $11 an hour, bang, it's all done. So if everybody were making minimum wage and they passed a new minimum wage bill that raised it, all you have to do is go one spot to change it one time, not to every employee in every spot. Okay, so now we've got the gross pay, we've got the net pay. Now we want to know what is the total number of hours worked. Super easy way to do this. Takes 2 seconds. You go up here to auto sum and double click. Done. Then to get the totals for the rest, we just drag it over. Done. That's why we want to use the copy function. That's why we want to use the functions also. Okay, now that we've done that, we're supposed to put a heavy border and a blue color for the shade here. So we right click again, we format the cells, we want the border, and this is heavy, just a solid border. Excuse me again. And we want it around them. So I didn't put it inside the middle, I just made it around. And then we want the fill color to be a blue. And so I click OK. And now we see it's a blue color with a border around it. So one other thing I didn't say to do, but you should be doing, is these two are not formatted for dollar signs. You should right-click that, format cells, and make those currency. So everything that is a dollar sign, dollar amount, has a dollar sign in front of it. So now we have finished number 9. We finished, and so we're ready now for number 10. Create a 3D pie chart. So in doing that, we go to Insert, and over here are charts, and here's a pie chart. And if I click on the arrow here, it's a 2D, 3D, or donut. We're going to do 3D. Now we have the pie chart, and that's interesting. I'm not sure how I managed to get that come up with everything here. Oh, because I had this all selected, I guess, when I created it. If this didn't come up, which I didn't think it would here, we need to select the data for the time cards. What it said for the data range, what we're supposed to pick, according to this, is A3 through A7 plus D3 through D7. It now should, if we hit enter, should have changed that. And it didn't change that correctly because it didn't put in my A3 through A7. So let's try it again. In the time card area here, again, A3 through A7, and then what I regretfully didn't do is push the control key down to pick D3 through D7. Now it should show Joe Cool, the names here, the series over here, and we can click OK. Now it said that we want to insert a title, so we need to, there's a couple of ways we can do that. One is going to a quick layout, and this one right here has the chart title on it. So we do that, and we go to the title, highlight the title, and change that to student net pay. So we've got that done. Now here we have our names. We right click on that, and we need to change the data, the label, format data labels, and here we're getting the name and the percentage. Now actually that's fine with me if you want to use the name in here. What you may be getting first is value and not having the name and the percentage on yours. I'm not sure why I got those two, because the previous time I did this I only got value. So we don't want value, we do want percentage. It's up to you if you want to show leader lines or you want to show the category names, etc. So when we've completed that, we've got the percentages shown, we've got everything completed there, so we can close this. And now this, when I get the 4 arrows on it, means I can move it around, and I need to move it so the left corner is right here in the corner of A and 13. I don't want you to resize it, I just want you to move it. So now we have finished step number 11. Now we're to step number 12, and we are to go down here and add a sheet 4. Now, for some reason, mine this time only came up with a sheet 1. Yours will come up with a 2 and a 3. And I just realized why that happened. A lot of people talk about Office 2013 being a lot different than 2010. It's not. The reason this looks slightly different is because I started it from scratch, and I have Office 2013 on my machine. So if you're using 2013, it will be looking like this. 2010, it has very, very minor differences, like sheet 2 and 3 are automatically there. Okay, so sheet 4 now, we need to rename it. And we're going to call it gross pay. And we hit enter, and then we need to right click it and change the tab color. And the tab color is supposed to be, where's the kit? Thought we were supposed to make that a gold, but it looks like that isn't in here now. Okay, so we are on sheet 4. We have called it gross pay, and now we want to add a custom clustered column chart. That's here, and we have a number of them. You can pick whichever one you want. I've just said a clustered column chart. And now we need to right click on that, and this time we are going to create a column chart for gross pay. So we need to select the data, and so I go over to this sheet, and this demonstration here is to show you that you can use different sheets and move the data back and forth. Here is the gross pay. Now I could just do that, and then it's going to give me my edit of my hours. Or what would be better is I can go here and select all of this, control click, and then select all of this, and now I get the names and I get the title, and then I click OK. Now here's a spot for the chart title. Here it shows the amounts, here it shows the names. If you want to change this chart title to gross pay, that would be great. Okay, and then hit enter. And now we need one more point. So here we have, I want to add a call out. So we go to insert, excuse me again, and we go to, this time what I want to do is insert a call out, which is under shapes, and again under 2010 this will look completely different. You can use any of the call outs you want down here, whatever you want. So right now I'm kind of off in a cloud, so I think I'll use that, and I'm going to put it here, and I can move it, shape it any way I want. I can move the point for it any place I want. I can move this up. I can move this up. I can move it around anyhow, and I can change the shapes. I can put it here. So this looks like the cloud I want, and then inside it, when I click here, I should be able to type whatever I want. In my home page, I can change the font to something big, and this is the lowest. Okay. And then if I wanted to, I could again have this highlighted. I can change the color. I can change whatever I want. Now the pay went away because it got too big for this cloud. If I stretched it a little, I can shrink it, this part. I can again move it however I want. whatever you think looks good. If you want to change any of the other things in this, that's fine. Okay? So, now we've got that. Now we go up here to File, Save As. And you save it on your computer someplace. And just save it as Excel Project 1. So Excel Project 1, and then after you click Save, then you will go on and you will upload this file where this project was, and then submit it for grading, and I will grade it. Thank you very much, and that concludes the lesson for today. Thank you.